In today's video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to process the planet Venus with UV and IR filters in Photoshop. Let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is open up your files. I already have them open right here. So this is the IR file with the infrared to get less turbulent images of Venus. And then we have the UV, which gets the cloud structure on Venus. Actually, the scene was pretty good for the UV at the time I caught it. So let's go ahead and process the planet Venus here. The first thing I would do is definitely process the channels separately. So I'm going to process so that way you can make them optimized for each channel. Let's go ahead and sharpen with this with an unsharp mask. I'm going to turn it up a little here. Do a higher radius because we have edge-rind a little bit on the planet. So we're going to have to remove that, and I'll show you how to in a little bit. So we'll do that, and there we go. Filter. Actually, wait, before we do that, I'm going to actually copy the unprocessed image and paste it in a new file. That way we have it for removing the edge-rind. Now let's do sharpen, smart sharpen, filter sharpen, smart sharpen. Let's turn up the radius a little. And the noise reduction doesn't need to be that high because this is just the IR, which was already denoised a lot. Turn up a slight bit more here, just to sharpen the edge. Not too much though. I think about right there is good. That's good. So there we go. There is our IR right there. But as you see, we have this edge-rind going all the way across here. In order to remove that, we just need to do a filter, sharpen, unsharp mask. We do a little sharpen here, but not that much. We just want to sharpen it just enough to where we still pretty much remove the don't bring up the edge-rind. So we're going to sharpen it to like right here, I think. Now, as you see, we still have a little bit leftover edge-rind right here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come down here. I'm going to kind of circle over here where the edge-rind is. And then we're going to do a feathering. Just a quick feathering. A little bit. And then a filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Just a tiny Gaussian blur just to get rid of that right there. Like so. And you can't even see the edge-rind anymore. We go back. As you can see, it looks pretty good. That looks really good. No edge-rind. Problem is it's not sharpened enough. So in order to do that, we just need to copy this image now. That has no edge-rind hardly. Paste it right here. And then we need to go ahead and start erasing. But first we got to duplicate the layer here, which is the original IR, moving on top of this layer so that way we can erase over this layer to get the no edge-rind layer. You see that is already so much better. Kind of erase around there. Do a little bit of erasing around the edges. You don't want to erase too much because then that looks pretty good right there. Because we don't erase too much and then it'll get rid of the sharpness. So there we are. So here's before when I had the edge-rind, and after. It still looks really sharp to the edges. Except we have no more edge-rind hardly at all. So we'll use that. That looks good. So now that we did that, let's just stamp this layer so it's combined with those two. We can go ahead and delete these. Now we need to go ahead and combine the data. But first, we're going to have to mess with this one, the UV. Let's go and sharpen the UV up a little. We're going to sharpen it 500% all the way. Now we're going to go to filter, sharpen, unsharp mask one more time. But not that much. That is way too much. We're going to sharpen it to about right there. And then we can do a filter, sharpen, smart sharpen. We're going to see if this actually does anything good. It doesn't look like it is. And I turn up some noise reduction there. Do a little bit of smart sharpening. Now let's compare how that is. This versus this. I think this looks a little bit better. Yeah, that's better. Let's go ahead and use that. Now I think I'm going to use the topaz denoise. Just a little to get rid of the extra noise. So I have topaz denoise AI, which you don't have to use. This is just what I use. In order to combine the data, we'll go to the IR. First, we'll get a copy of it. So Control A, C, and then D, which will select all, and then copy and deselect. We'll go and create a new file and paste that in here. We're going to go to the UV, which is right here. Copy the UV. Go to Untitled 2, which is the one we just created. Paste over the UV. Then we're going to change the opacity to 50%. And this will make a synthetic green channel. As you can see, it's 50%. It's a 50-50 blend of the two, of IR and UV. Go ahead and copy this, and we'll go back to the IR. This is RGB. Let's make sure. No, it's not. So we got to change this to RGB. Don't flatten. So now we have red, green, and blue. So what we're going to do is paste the synthetic green, obviously, in the green channel. Wait a minute. Wait. Okay, so I always sometimes forget this. If you go to the Untitled 2, as you can see, we're only copying this layer. So we actually got to paste or make a new layer with both those layers combined. And then we have to paste in the blue. And the blue is just pure UV. We already have the IR in red, so we're good there. We go to RGB. There is our Venus image.